All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Vigil Agency team call for Tuesday, October 1st. We are in the fourth quarter, guys, and this is where all the money is to be made, right? This is where all the profit comes in for the year. So we're excited because we got Mr. Jeremiah Tacker with us again today from Transamerica. Give us the lowdown on what's happening with the new final expense. And I believe Brenda has already written the new final expense. So it'll be good to get some insight from her as well. Welcome, Jeremiah. Glad to see that you're nice and healthy and unscathed from conference. Rookie mistake. Hold on, let's get you unmuted.
There I am. It just never gets any easier, does it?
Nope.
I survived conference. Came back a little bludgeoned, but that's okay. Just from more of the alcohol and the late nights. But but other than that, it was a great deal. I love coming to that conference, and always have a great time. So, but I'm excited, man. Brenda, I'll hold it for a little bit, but I'm happy that we have someone on that wrote the actual app. So I will ask for you to share. Hopefully you're open for that. And as we go through some things, and would love to hear some of your feedback too. But and Michael, just before I get started, how much time do I have on this? I don't want to run over. Don't want
25 minutes at least.
to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get through it. I know the last one I did took me about 30 to 35 with questions, but we'll make it work.
You
So
can take as much time as you need. We just typically schedule it for about 30 minutes, so it's not a big deal. If we run,
yeah, as long as
keep it recording, and then we'll just upload the recording for everyone else.
sounds good. I guess as long as it's engaging and we're getting good stuff out to you guys, it won't be a problem, I'm sure. So let me get going here. So as you guys, I'll just introduce myself a little bit, and please come off mute if you can. Type questions in, whatever you need to do to get information that you need, because I want to make sure that you guys leave here understanding this product. But as Michael knows, I've been in the industry for 17 years, man. I've done a little bit of everything. I started with Transamerica. I personally produced. I recruited, trained, and grew an agency of independent agents, and ran that for 5 years. Ironically, back here with Transamerica. So I've done a little bit of everything. I know what this industry has, what it's done for me, how much I've learned, and so I just love being on these calls, being able to share with you guys, and I'm excited because Transamerica is doing things that excites you guys, right? We have a leadership team that's doing things that makes you guys want to sell with us. I still have to be the salesman, but I don't have to be the aggressive salesman that I've had to be in the past, because we're doing the things that you guys have asked for, that you guys want, that you guys are currently doing. That's making things easier for you guys. So first and foremost, I do want to just share my team and my information, because I know you guys have a great agency there, with Michael and Symmetry and all that stuff. But you guys could always use more contacts, right? That's always here. And I will tell you, go to Michael and his team first, right? That's who you guys. That's who brought you guys in. It wants to support you. They want to help you, but we want to be those secondary contacts if you do need help, right? So there's my information, my personal cell. You can call or text me there if you want. That's my work email. You can email me there. Now, problem with me is my role. I do a lot of traveling and I do a lot of these webinars, right? So sometimes I don't always have my tools in front of me to help you guys out. I don't always have, the availability. I'm not always available, being on planes and different things like that at different conferences. And so I've been given two internal wholesalers to work with me, right? And those internal wholesalers are exactly that. They don't travel, they don't do any webinars. They're there for your support, right? So if you can't get a hold of me, I would reach out to them, or honestly, I would reach out to them and include me in the email, is how I would honestly work with that if you want to get an answer in a timely manner. That's their direct office lines and their direct office emails that you can
Jeremiah,
utilize. Yeah.
sharing. I don't have anything on the screen.
Oh, man, that's strike two, man. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be allowed on this call again, honestly, but after those rookie mistakes, those are two big rookie mistakes that I made already. So there we go. Sorry. Thanks, Michael, for pointing that out. Shame on the rest of you for not letting me know. No, just kidding. There we go. So now you have it. Now you have mine. You have my internal team. You have also the 866 number above. Okay, this is if you can't get a hold of Michael and your team, you can't get a hold of anybody on my team. This number goes into all our internal wholesalers. Okay, when you get them, that goes into a queue, and anybody that picks up first available will pick up and answer your phone call. So I want to make sure you guys have that. Working with Transamerica, working with any large company, it's nice to have multiple levels of contacts, right? And I want to make sure you have that. So I talked about a leadership team, Will Fuller, his team, doing great things. We're doing things that Transamerica's never done before. And I'll get into that here in a little bit. But the other thing is, I like to point out this slide that we've paid out $47 billion in claims across insurance, retirement, and annuities. So the reason I say that is because that's more than some companies have done in business in itself, like since they've been around. And I want to make sure you guys are comfortable knowing that Transamerica, whether you're around or not, when they need us for claims, we're going to be there for them. Okay. So we are, obviously, with our name and everything else, we are a company that takes care of your clients. And so we want to be the company you want to put your clients with. So again, we're going to get a lot of information pop up on the screen. How do you choose a final expense carrier? So we're going to go through these quickly. Day one coverage. I'll go into a lot of these as we move forward, but day one coverage underwriting rules. We're going to talk about, 5 niches. We're going to talk about where we fit with multiple medical conditions that are not comorbidities. We're going to talk about multiple medical conditions that are comorbidity. Where we rate amongst carriers and how we fit in that realm. Because honestly, and I know most of you guys know this, I know this, being transparent with you guys, before 2019, we were a carrier you guys went to, or that agents went to write their business, right? And then they transitioned if they got declined by us. From 2019 on, we've kind of been that carrier that it's been like, oh, AMAM won't take them. Let's see if Transamerica will. Or Mutual of Omaha won't take them. Let's see if Transamerica will. We want to flip that. We want to go back to prior to 2019. We want to be that carrier that you want to write all your final expense business with, right? That you come to us first and then you transition to other carriers. That's what we want to move to. And that's what this leadership team is really kind of making it a point to push forward and have that type of mindset going forward. Two big things that Transamerica isn't doing right now that we've never done that we're doing: instant decision. So this final expense now has an instant decision piece to it. This is a 10-minute application. You're going to know if they are approved and basically instantly approved and instantly decided this is what they're getting within about 5 to 7 minutes through the application. And I'll walk through that piece with you here in a little bit. That's something we've never had, which I'm excited about. With all these things on the screen, our rates aren't changing much, guys. So you don't have to be worried about that. Okay, 55 and over, we're going to be about $1 or $2 more expensive. Actually, about $1 and some change more expensive, which still puts us in the top tier, top 1, even top 2 rate amongst 55 and over. 54 and under, we're increasing by about $5 to $7, which is going to put us within that top 3, but never outside the top 4, competitive wise for rates. I skip over this one because we were paying on approval. We've made a decision to go back to pay on draft. And that's really for just us, uplines, and all those things, guys. We're going to stay with paying on draft for your clients, but we are paying faster. When you do get that, you definitely, when we do draft, we will pay within 24 to 48 hours in most cases. And I'll go through those here in a little bit. Commissions. You guys, I don't think, have your commission schedules yet, which is unfortunate. I think we were waiting on some things from Symmetry. I think we're good. I think we've gotten those out to them, so you guys should be getting those soon. But commissions, I will tell you guys, are increasing on the select side by about 15%, and on our graded product, increasing by about 20% from what our current product is, right? From what Immediate Solutions product, right? And by the way, that product is still available. You can still write that Immediate Solutions product, and it will be available for the time being. We don't have any date to sunset that at all. So you will have access to both products. Credit and debit cards, I know those are naughty words in the insurance industry because of a lot of different things: fraud, expiration dates. Agents don't use them. I never did. I tried to scapegoat those all the time. But I will tell you guys, with our new system technology and what we're able to do, the fraud and expiration dates have kind of been taken out, right? Because with the platform that we're using, their technology has the advances to be able to advancements in that technology to be able to automatically update a card if it's being replaced due to fraud, or automatically update the expiration date to the new expiration date if that card expires. Okay. Don't ask me how they do it. I'm not the tech guy. I'm just a sales guy, but they say it can be done. So I trust them. And we've already had a few experiences with that already, and very limited, but a few experiences with that where it has been proven to be true. So I can give you guys that information. We do have a customized offer upsell. I think you guys are going to love this when we get to the piece on the application that I talk more about this. Higher face mounts. We're going to talk about those here in the next couple of slides. I think you guys are going to love this because nobody's doing what we're doing in that regard. New business. I think I've been on calls before where I've given you guys the case management team for other products. The great thing is you won't have to deal with new business with this product, right? Because it's instantly approved. So you won't have to ever deal with new business. Ease of doing business. This whole process is I'm going to show you is going to show that brand strength. You guys know that signature process. Again, something we haven't done before, right? We still have the email, but we added a text to sign as well. So now you guys have a text to sign process. Social Security billing. We still have true Social Security billing with this product. The Direct Express card does not fall under the credit and debit card. Okay, it's separate. So we do advance on that. We do advance on the ACH and all that. We just don't advance on the credit and debit cards. Those are paid as earned. And then issue agents. Okay, those are a little bit different on this product. So let's get into it. I mentioned the 10-minute process with the instant decision in about 5 to 7 minutes. Convenient payment options, I talked about those. The opportunity to upsell, we'll go into more detail later. The commissions, getting the increase in commissions, which is huge for you guys. I think with those increases, we are going to be the top commission payout product. I don't think you guys you might have, I would say maybe SPLI might be a little higher just because of their relationship with you guys, but I think we're going to be right underneath them in maybe a 5% difference, but we might be second to them in payout. So I think we're going to be one of the highest payout commission products for final expense you guys have. And then we do have the Everest funeral planning rider. For those of you guys that don't know what that is, it's huge. Okay, for this product especially, because what it does, it gives those policy owners or insureds a way to kind of set up their funeral. They can kind of help set up and plan with will preparation and healthcare directives. They can set up and do that use this team to help them do that. It also affects your beneficiaries because those beneficiaries during that difficult time when that insured passes away, they're there for their support, right? They're there for their support. They're there to help plan and process the funeral. They're there to help with budgeting. They're to help with all those things when it comes to that process. And I think the biggest thing for you guys and the biggest selling point to your clients is going to be that with the Everest Concierge Rider, we actually accelerate the death benefit payout process. So we would pay out up to $25,000 within 3 business days. Because we know that the headstone, the funeral planning, the flowers, the food, all the stuff that goes along with a funeral is not going to wait. You have to pay for that. And guess what? That's what this money is supposed to be used for, and you guys need it to do that. So we will expedite $25,000 upfront within 3 business days. The remainder, if there is any, on their death benefits, if it's higher than $25,000, will be paid out once the claim has been fully processed. Okay. So product at a glance, and Brenda, just to you have your hand raised. I didn't see that. Brenda, go ahead. You have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick question on that funeral planning benefit. Does that also can be utilized for a spouse, or is it just for the active client with the policy?
Just for the active client with the policy.
Okay.
Good question, though. And just through Brenda, for you, just to know, when I get to where the screen that says digital experience, I'm going to have you kind of come on and just share a little bit about your experience using the thing. It'll come up here in about the next 5 to 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, perfect.
And I appreciate that. Just to go through the product, it's a little bit different. Some nuances here I want to make sure to share with you guys. Again, we have a select and a graded rating. Okay, those are it, select and graded. On the select side, issue ages are 18 to 85. Okay, on the graded, 18 to 80. Okay, both minimums are going to be 5,000. But here's what I was talking about. On the select, we go 18 to 75. You can get up to $50,000 in coverage. That's where no other carrier is doing that. I don't think there's another carrier you can get $50,000 coverage on a client that's 75 years of age. Right? But then 76 to 85, we do 25,000. And then on the graded side, again, maximum is 25,000 for all ages. And the big thing about this, like I said, I mentioned the immediate solution is still available for you guys, right? So if you have or have not, let's say you have a client that has an immediate solutions product, let's say for 50,000, you could write that same client on this FE Express solution product for another 50,000. And you could have a total of 100,000 in final expense coverage. Okay? They're two separate products. Okay? So we don't go off the other to write this one. And same thing, if you don't have a client and they say, so let's say you meet a client and they're like, I would like 100,000 in final expense. You're like, well, sir, no carrier is doing that except for Transamerica, because you can write them on immediate solution for 50, and then you could write them a second app on the FE Express for 50 and get them a total application of $100,000 in final expense coverage. Okay, so you guys can utilize that to your advantage when you're talking to these clients, because I had some of you come to me and ask me for that, and I had to kind of pivot you guys to our lifetime whole life, because it goes up to like 2 million. It's a whole life product. It's not final expense, but it goes up to higher face amounts. Now, when you have a client that wants a little bit higher, you can do 100,000 on them by writing them both products. Graded product, again, that is the death benefit is return of premium plus 10% for the first 2 years, and then third year it's going to be full death benefit payout. Riders, so on the select product, on the select rating product, you have the accelerated death benefit rider with the nursing home benefits, and also the accelerated death benefit rider and the Everest rider. And then on the graded, you just have the Everest rider. States that we're in every state except for Pennsylvania, California, and New York. I will tell you guys, probably Pennsylvania is coming soon. So they've been filed. Pennsylvania is probably coming soon. California, maybe a little while after, and then probably when me and Michael are retired and hanging out together out of the insurance industry, we'll get New York at some point in time. So, I mean, it's all filed there, guys. We're just waiting for them to get back to us. So we'll let you guys know when those are good, and they'll pop up on the application too, which is nice. So once you're in those states, it'll pop up the application. Which also brings me, before I leave this, I've sent out emails on this, but I know a lot of you guys are struggling, maybe outside of this agency, because maybe you guys haven't tried to write this, but maybe Brenda went through this too, and she can elaborate on it. Getting your states added, okay? You need to reach out to our licensing team. I'm going to tell you right now, we probably don't have all of your non-resident states because we don't have access to any tool that can give us that. We are working on a access through NIPR, but right now we don't have that. So we really rely, we go back to the Stone Age in this, rely on you guys to send us in those non-resident licenses. We can't automatically update them. So if you haven't sent those in, you need to get those into us. You will not be able to access the state that you want to write in through the portal if we don't have that non-resident license on file. Okay, all we need is on file. They'll get it in. They should process it within a day. You should get an email within 24 hours, and then about 11 a.m. the following day after receiving that email, you should see that state in your portal. There has been a few delays on some of that, so give it a little bit of extra time, but that should be the process you go through. But do make sure that you're getting those licenses in. Resident licenses aren't really a problem, right? Because we got those, but your non-residents, the ones that you maybe not have sent us, we need those. To underwrite. So to underwrite this, guys, we made it super easy. I don't think you can get any easier than this, right? If you're going through our product guide or underwriting guide, and all the decisions for the conditions that the client has are select, including the height and weight, you're most likely going to get select. Pretty easy, right? And if you go through and you have 14 select and you get 1 graded, you're more than likely going to get graded. And if you have select, all the selects, and then you got one decline, it's more than likely going to get declined. Right? And it looks something like this. So if you had congestive heart failure and coronary artery disease, they're both select. Probably going to get select. If you have congestive heart failure, coronary artery disease, and cirrhosis, you have one graded, probably going to be graded. Then if you have congestive heart failure, coronary artery disease, and you use a defibrillator, you have a decline. You're probably going to get declines. So this is one way. I would say this is the second best way to underwrite for the product itself. I'm going to show you the first and the last one here in a little bit. But on this is for single conditions. These are the 5 niches for single conditions that Transamerica fits well in that maybe don't, that other carriers don't fit well in. Congestive heart failure, if they've ever had it, it's select. Okay? If you have COPD, including emphysema or chronic bronchitis, if they've ever had it, it's select day 1 coverage with Transamerica. If you, what was that? Sleep apnea. So if you have sleep apnea, it's select day 1 coverage. I got some questions coming in, so I'm just going to get down to those. CHF select, awesome. Yes, Brenda, you betcha. Diabetic coma is number 4 with diabetes. So these two. So diabetes is insulin use, peripheral vascular disease, neuropathy, retinopathy, and kidney disease. Any of those things go along with diabetes within the 2 years, it's select. And then the 5th one, heart attack and heart disease within 12 months is select. Okay, so those are the 5 single condition niches that you definitely want to look out for when writing Transamerica or when you meet with your client. Okay, now I'm going to go through some cases with multiple conditions that don't have any reflection on each other, right? You guys are pretty knowledgeable in the medical condition arena. You guys know, like, diabetes kind of affects the heart, so that's going to be an effect. But COPD doesn't affect heart, so that doesn't have any correlation with each other. So if we do this and we do COPD with diabetes, with neuropathy, and all the other complications we mentioned, multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's disease, this client for Transamerica would be select day 1 coverage. Okay, we go to number 2. Again, you see, none of these conditions have anything to do with each other. So we got diabetes with neuropathy and all the other conditions. Got lupus. You have emphysema. Day 1 coverage, select with Transamerica. Okay, then we have things like congestive heart failure, with Parkinson's, with depression, with Crohn's. Select day 1 coverage with Transamerica. Again, take those as you will. They aren't going to fit in some cases when they have things to do. They like this one right here when you get congestive heart failure and diabetes. Right? Again, I said diabetes, that does have some effects on the heart. So when that happens, we get you approved for graded. Okay, you still get graded, not select day 1, but you're going to get graded. Then we have things like when you factor in like kidney failure or liver failure with like congestive heart failure. That's going to be a decline with Transamerica. But some other things too. So now I showed you the single condition chart where we're going to be better than most carriers, right? I showed you multiple conditions that don't have any effect on each other, but we're going to give you day 1 coverage where most carriers aren't going to because of the multiple issues and multiple medications they're probably using for that. Now I'm going to give you things that are multiple comorbidities that are probably going to fit around the same as most other carriers. So when you look at liver failure, you still get graded with liver failure if it's alone. When you add diabetes to this, it's graded. When you add hepatitis to it, it's a decline. And guys, for a lot of this, I'm going to send Michael this whole slide deck. I'm going to send him a couple other things I'm going to show you. So don't worry about, I know some of you want to take notes. Great. You get it. Writing it down helps you remember. But I just wanted to let some of you know that don't want to take notes that I'm going to send this stuff off to you guys too. So, so that's there for you guys. We talked about CHF, being day 1 select, right? If it's alone. If you add COPD, it bumps it to graded. Again, CHF with the oxygen use, boom, you get graded. If you add the 3 here with diabetes to those 2, it's a decline. And then if you add any kidney failure or dialysis to the CHF, it's a decline as well. Again, probably where most carriers are fitting. Now, we used to be day one coverage on oxygen, but now within 12 months, it's graded. If you have COPD, it's still graded with the oxygen. But now you're getting into declines where you had CHF, if you had stroke to it, if you're a tobacco user, all it's going to be a decline. And then I mentioned the diabetes with the complications, okay? All those complications I mentioned give you select day one. But if you add CHF to it, you're going to get graded. If you add other complications with kidney failure, you're going to get a decline. Payment options, just so you guys know, just some different things. So ACH, once it's drafted, 24 to 48 hours later. Direct Express Social Security billing, once it's drafted on the third Wednesday of the month, 24 to 48 hours later. You're getting advance payments on those two. And then the credit and debit cards is going to be no advance paid as earned. Okay, so I'm going to go through the digital experience here in a second, but I'd love to have, before I talk about it, I'd love to have Brenda come on and just share, give us a quick little snippet of Brenda, your experience with, I mean, it could even go back to the contracting piece of it. It could go through the whole digital experience. Did you do in person, virtual? Give me some information on it. Let's share with the group, please. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and like you said, making sure your licenses are up to date with it is a key component because I had to call them a couple times to get that sorted out. But once we got it sorted, yeah, the application I think was like 7 minutes at the most. It was super easy. Of course, it was, working through it a little bit on user error side just because I'd never used it yet and stuff, but super easy. Yeah, and it gave instant approval right away, which was awesome. The questions were super simple, like there really wasn't anything confusing, super basic. Yeah, and client was able to do the signature very easy, so there wasn't any click here, click there, complicated open pop-up blockers or anything like that. So it was super easy. And then yeah, just getting that approval right away, which was awesome. Especially for the client I was working with, because that's what she wanted. She didn't want a waiting period. She wanted day one coverage, which is what we got, which was phenomenal for her. So very excited about that. And I'll actually have to call her back and kind of let her know about that funeral planning because that was kind of something she was working on with. So that's kind of exciting that that's included with the policy. So I'm going to have to make that phone call today for sure.
Good stuff. Two questions for you for the group. Did you use a pre-qualification tool at all?
I didn't. I just kind of, yeah, went with that one just because I already anticipated her being approved with the immediate. So I
Awesome.
didn't. I used it just a little bit for like pricing, but other than that, she really didn't have any health issues except diabetes. So that's kind of where we were at with her.
Okay. And did you do the in-person or the virtual?
Virtual.
Awesome. And it was super easy. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That'll
Yeah, it
make
was
make
good.
my point even better. So
Yep.
awesome. Good. I appreciate you sharing, Brenda. That's awesome. Let me go into share the experience that Brenda had with you guys today. This is kind of what it's going to look like for you guys. And for the virtual side, I do have, we do have a screen that shows you what the client sees. So that'll be nice too. And again, I'll send all this to you so you guys will have that. But so as you guys know, again, make sure those states are updated, but then you're going to that secure.transamerica.com portal, right? That's our new agent home portal. That's where you want to go to, has all the tabs in it that you need. You're not going to this iGo app, right? The iGo app is for all of our other products outside of the FE Express solution. For the FE Express solution, you're clicking on the Transamerica FE Express solution tab. And then when you launch that, you get this screen. It's going to welcome you in. And like Brenda said, you can get a quote right from here. You can pre-qualify the client, which I would tell you is the best underwriting tool, right? So I already mentioned, doing it through the underwriting guide, field underwriting, like Brenda did. You can do that. We make it pretty easy for you to do that. But I would say number one is this pre-qual tool. If the client's giving you accurate information and answering truthfully, which, everything falls on when you're doing risk assessment or pre-qualifying anybody, if they're answering truthfully, it's going to be 97% accurate, guys. Whatever this pops out to be, 97% of the time, that's what they're going to get approved for in the long run. Okay, so that's why I say it's the best. And then field underwriting is the second best. I would say getting hold of our new underwriting team for this product would probably be your third, because honestly, I've gotten not so hot feedback on that. They kind of just tell you, I can only tell you what's in the underwriting guide, which that's not why you're reaching out to them. You guys are smart enough. You can read the dang underwriting guide. If we needed them to do that, then there's a lot more underlying issues. So that's why I'm telling you the pre-qual tool and then doing your own field underwriting is going to be the best way to do this. Okay. And if you do your field underwriting and you have questions, use a pre-qual tool. And then you can do the new application right from there. So when you do that, we're just gonna go through a couple of things like pre-qual tool, again, height and weight. You're gonna answer if they've ever been diagnosed with these list of conditions. Oops. And then go through some other questions like terminal illness or alcohol or drug abuse. And then boom, you check eligibility. It's that simple. It's like 12 questions or something like that. It's not very long when you're doing that. And then boom, it's gonna pop up with this message. It says your applicant is pre-qualified. Okay, so it tells you what you got for an estimated risk class. And it also tells you what riders are available, because we all know how dumb we look when we offer up a rider and then we look in the product guide and it's not available in the States, right? That's not any fun. So we don't want to do that to you guys. So we do tell you if the state you chose to start the app, we're going to tell you if it's available. And then you hit continue to quote, right? So you're going to continue to quote. You don't have to quote if you don't want to. If you already have the quote, you don't need to. You can quote it if you want to, and then hit start application. And then you get into this screen. It's going to be either in person or virtual. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take you through the whole application process, and we're going to go through, and it's going to show you the in-person signature. And then I'm going to jump back and just show you what the virtual signature looks like. But the app process is the same whether you're doing it in person or virtual. It's just the signature process is a little bit different for both. So we're going to do in person. You're just getting their personal information, more of the personal information. You're saving that, and then you're getting their health information, and you're getting their lifestyle information. And that's it. Like 3 screens, guys, is all you're doing with them. It's very quick. Not a lot of in-depth questions. Okay. Then it does say turn controls over the applicant, which I know you're not going to do and I would never do. If I'm in person, I'm reading this information to them, right? I'm reading this information and saying, do you agree to all this? Yes, then I'm hitting continue. And then I'm just verifying this information with them, right? Is this your name? Is this your mailing address? Is this your email address? Yep. Okay, boom. Check that, hit next. And now you're to the signing. Now you're just clicking. You don't have to open these PDFs. All you got to do is click the boxes next to them to say you agree. Then make sure this should always be checked. This Everest rider should always be checked, because I would never deselect. It's automatically added with no additional premium cost, guys. So leave it on there and give the client the ability to have that access. But leave that checked. Then you're just reading this information to them. And then if you want to, you can click to sign for them, or you can turn your tablet or laptop around and just have them click. They're not drawing their signature. All they're doing is clicking to add that signature. Okay. And then when they do that, that's what it looks like. And then they hit save signature below. Boom. They're done. Now you sign. So you're signing, and you click the sign after you read through the agent statement. Then you hit save signature and submit. Once you do this, that's when it starts. That's when it's going to spin and run the MIB and the script check, right? Once you do that, then it gives you this. It says, congratulations, you've been approved. Now, you know what you signed up for. So congratulations, Brenda, you've been approved for 25,000 that we signed up for. But do you know you're eligible for up to 50,000? No, I did not. What does that cost? Oh, awesome. Well, let's get through this. So you finalize the coverage here, and then you hit continue here. And now here's your upsell feature, guys. This is where you can upsell. Did you know, Brenda, you're eligible for up to 50,000 in coverage? No, I did not. What does that cost? Well, here you can play around with the numbers here and put in 50,000 and give them the premium. Do you think that works for you, Brenda? No. Okay, let's try 40. Maybe that's more, maybe that's in your budget. It gives you, 15,000 more for your family to help cover expenses. All those things you can use to upsell. The other ones are, maybe you put in graded and they got select. So now their premium's less. Now maybe they can afford more, or vice versa. You put in select, but they got graded. Okay, now you need to decrease the face amount because they can't afford what the graded was. All those things, right? So it's all there for you. They don't have to sign again right here to authorize that. You're already approved. So you're just putting that in, and it's adjusting that. So you're putting that in here. It's adjusting the coverage amount from the original 25,000 to, now if we do that, to the 40 that maybe they agreed to with the new premium. Now you're just opting in for the premium loans down below and you're confirming the coverage. And then after, now it's done. Like they are good. They have this coverage. Now you're adding in the beneficiaries. And Brenda probably ran into this. You're only allowed to add in one, right?
Mhm.
I don't think you can add another one in there until it's issued. So you have to wait till after it's issued to add. And I can show you guys how to do that via the customer portal.
And we can do that for contingent, right? Because I know she wanted to add, at least for my client, wanted to add those in also.
Yep. You can add additional beneficiaries and contingent beneficiaries after issue. Yep. And then now you're going through the payment options. So how, Brenda, how would you like to pay? Do you want to pay monthly, annually? Do you want to pay immediately, schedule a payment, use Social Security billing? Once you decide that, then you add in the banking information. This is after the client's already been done. So it's easy now to bring this like, hey, Brenda, you've already been approved. Now we got to get your bank information so that they can draft the premium for your coverage. And you save the premium or save the payment details. And now here's where you and the agent and client have to sign again, just to verify that they want to pay for this, right? So we've already had to do it for the MIB now, but it's super simple on this end, right? All you're doing agent signature wise is reading this. You're clicking to add the signature. Can you do applicant review? Okay, then you're going through the information with the applicant, right? You're just doing all the coverage details, beneficiaries, the payment, the billing, and then more billing information, payment details. You're just reading this to them. Okay, you're just saying, well, Richard, you agreed to us charging the carding in 4242 on the second Wednesday of the month for this amount on the starting date for this coverage. Agreed? Yep, sign and pay. And then they sign and pay. Right now it's all in person, right? This is all in person. So you're turning it around so they can click it or clicking it for them. And now the policy is submitted. So now all you're telling them here is these last little bullet points, right? The policy is submitted. So the coverage is binding first payments. But again, we all know they're covered, right? We have their payment information. So if it's a future dated, authorization, right? And they pass away in the meantime. If they were unfortunately pass away in the meantime, once that draft date comes, and we would draft that premium, we would then pay, and that was successful, we would pay out the death benefit, right? So you can kind of relax your clients on that end, but it isn't binding until the first payment. Now, if the first payment is initial, it may take up to 5 business days for that to show up. And then if it's future dated, they're going to send an email, or even this 5 days, or even future dated, they're going to send an email when the coverage begins. Okay. And you're done. That is it, guys, for the in-person signature. That's it for the application in general. And that's walking you through the in-person. Let me walk you through the text to sign. Okay. So the text feature, right? You still have email option. You still have a text message here. So when you send that email, so when you get to that point where you're sending that email to, or sending that text message to the client, they're going to get a text message pop up on their phone. It says this: you've agreed to receive this message, verify your identity, and complete the application with Transamerica Life Insurance. Okay, once you do that, they're going to click on that and it's going to give them this link. Okay, they're going to open up this link. Okay, and then all they need to do when they open that link is 2 steps. They need to put in their email. Okay, they don't have to ever access their email. They just have to put in an email address. And for those of you questioning that, I go into my spiel here real quick. 90% of American adults own a smartphone. Michael, what do you have to get a smartphone through Verizon or US Cellular?
An email account.
Have to have an email, right? I know most of clients, the issue with us is they had to access their email, and that was the problem, getting into their email. All we need to do is know their email, right? And if you're on virtual with a client, easy. Hey, Mrs. Client, Mr. Mrs. Client, click on your settings. As soon as they click on the settings, on the top of that settings screen is going to be their email. Read me that email, or read that email, put that in there. That's what they're looking for right there. So put that email in. They set up a password. 10 characters in length, lower, upper, number, special character. Pretty easy. We walk them through right there. Once all those are checked, they hit continue. It gets even easier with the second piece because now they just need to put in their date of birth and social. Okay. And unless they have dementia or their short-term memory loss or something, they should know those things. So that should be very easy for them to be able to do that. And then like Brenda said, then it's pretty easy. They're again, just they don't have to open any of these attachments. All they're doing is clicking the boxes to agree and then tapping their phone to sign. And they're saving that signature. So once they tap to sign, it looks like that. Save signature, they're done. Then you go into the rest of the app that I showed you afterwards. So that is the signature process for you guys. Very easy, right? I've gotten feedback that I can share with you guys on that. Okay. So again, like Brenda said, it is for that virtual signature. The in-person signature is hands down what I'm hearing the easiest signature that you can possibly do. I know that most of you are virtual, so I am hearing on the virtual side, it does depend on the client, right? It with anything virtually, it's going to depend on the client's deal with that. But what I am hearing is, you know what? Yes, it took a little bit, or no, I had a good client and they were able to walk right through it, but 100% better than your email signature. So I'm getting 100% better than our email signature. But again, with anything virtual, they do have some qualms with some of the clients they're running into getting that virtual thing done, but they are getting it done. And it is easier than email and the in-person being very good. So I want to share that with you, a little feedback that I've gotten. And Brenda had some good feedback that she had really no issues. She had issues with the app, just not knowing the app, not even the virtual signature. Sounds like that went pretty smoothly for her and her clients. So that's good to hear as well.
Make it till you make it. That's because she's like, it's asking me this. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it always asks. I'm like, I don't know what it's asking. But here we go. We're just doing the thing.
Right. And now you'll have these slides so that you guys can know that process. You kind of know what they're going to see on there, which is nice too. So I'm going to go with this. Please scan this QR code. I want to go into this real quick for you guys. So I want to show you this real quick. This goes into our Transamerica FE Express Solution Toolkit. This is going to give you the ability to learn everything that you need to know about our new product. So do that. I'm going to go out and show you where I love you to go. So this is what you see probably on your phone or wherever right now. If you go down about halfway, go to training resources and go to brokerage TAM. If you click on that, this is a training course for you guys, or for any agents that want to learn about this that you're bringing on, or that haven't been through a training with me. This goes through a training course of the Express Solution product. It walks you through the digital selling experience, giving you guys application demos, but also gives you guys a self-driven sandbox to go practice doing the application. And then also has additional resources that I would highly recommend that you guys go out and click on that tab and view those additional resources. So a great little tool out on that Express website for you guys. A couple of things right now that are a little deterrent that I know are causing some issues and some extra work for agents, but I have some good news, so just stick with me. So right now, currently rolling out the app, the billing zip code on the card or bank account must match the mailing and physical address on the application. Okay. The owner, insured, and payer must be the same at time of issue. And right now, there is no third-party payers allowed. I will tell you guys, all this stuff is changing in about 30 to 60 days, right? We know these are not like industry standard things, right? You know, the billing, sometimes there's a third-party payer. The daughter wants to pay for the mom. The husband normally wants to own the wife, and the wife normally wants to own the husband's policy, right? So we need to allow for those things. So stick with us now. I've had two come back to me, saying, and these are kind of some rebuttals for you guys, or some help. I had an agent come to me and like, the daughter wants to pay for the mom. I'm like, okay, we'll have the mom pay for the initial premium. That's pretty easy. Well, the mom doesn't have the money. I mean, well, that's simple. Have the mom and daughter go to the bank and put money into the mom's account so they can draft for it and then change it afterwards. So I know it's a little bit extra work, but if we think outside the box for this 30 or 60 days, there's ways we can overcome that. A little bit of extra work. Same with like the owner insured. I had an agent come to me. Well, the husband wants to own the wife's policy. That's fantastic. They can at issue. Okay. So have them own their own and then have them go into the customer portal and change it afterwards. It's very simple. So yes, a little extra work, but stick with me. Stick with it. Do the extra work for a little bit of time, and then 60 days, as long as 60 days, 2 months after, and we're about 2 weeks in. So give me 6 more weeks, and that will all be changing. We'll allow third-party payers. We'll allow all these to be different, all those things, okay? So pre-issue and product questions, okay? Those come to me and my team, or Michael and your team's there, right? Anything after you're done with the application. So you did the 7 to 10 minute process and you got the client a policy. You need, for just the final expense, for this is FE Express only, for anything out after that, that includes tech support, agent dashboard, post-issue, underwriting, enforce, operational or claims support, any of that stuff, you need to call this number, 800-453-1448. They will help you. Okay, they're going to be able to help you with that. So I'll let you guys get that number real quick. And then obviously we have our convention. Love to see you guys in Park City, Utah in June of next year. I think this product might help you get there. I think a lot of you could write 100,000. If you haven't written anything with us, you could probably write 100,000 in the next, October, November, in the next 3 months that we have with this product alone. And so I'd love to see you down there. So let's get you there. Let's do that. Qualification is December 31st. So a couple things. This thing I saved for almost last because I love it. So guys, we don't have a paper app with this, which I know none of you care about, but we did do a paper app. And what we did is we took all the questions on the application and we said, hey, underwriting, answer these for us. What would this be if they answer yes to any of these? What would this be if they didn't have this within 2 years? Or they did have it within 2 years? How would underwriting look at all this? So we did this. It's a little underwriting cheat sheet for all of these questions that I'm going to send to you guys. So you guys have, pass it along to other teams, pass it along to other agents, feed this out because this is going to be huge. And I would love for your guys' help on getting this out because I know this will help a ton of agents when writing our products. So this is probably, I would say this kind of tops even the pre-qual tool to underwrite for you guys. And Michael, I see you come on mute. Do you have a question?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna add this to we have a big cheat sheet that we use and SFG quotes. I'll add both of these to that. This will be huge because we have a lot of questions about this already.
Yep, so good.
Awesome. Yep, and I'll get this out to you right after. The last thing I want to share with you guys is just give you a sneak peek of what this customer portal looks like for your clients and how easy and descriptive and everything they have access to. Okay, so when you give this client the customer portal, they're going to be able to download a copy of their policy, add or update beneficiaries, update contact information, payment details. They'll be able to contact their customer service team. So when they log in, here's what they see. They're going to see their policy information up in the left. They'll see your agent information up on the right. And they'll see 4 tabs. So the overview gives them all their policy information and billing information, when it's scheduled, when it's auto draft to be taken out, and they can manage it from there. They click on beneficiaries, right? They get all their beneficiaries out here, how that's allocated, what beneficiaries are out on their product. They can change the allocations if they want. Billing, it will show them the payment details, what card, payment schedule. It will give them every transaction that we take on here. It will give them the transaction history. And then last, documents. So one, they'll be able to download their policy. So all the information that was on the virtual signature, the in-person signature, they didn't open up, all those PDFs will be out here. And then anything that we send to them going forward regarding this policy will be out here as well. And then last but not least, they can, if they have questions, they can call our customer service by getting into this link right here. So guys, that's what I have. I didn't see any information out here. Any other questions? Does anybody have anything they want to come off mute and ask, type in? Yeah, go ahead, Linda.
I do. I don't know if I'm getting you or another carrier confused, but at one time for your guarantee issue, did you not guarantee that or do that in Minnesota?
We don't have a guaranteed issue product. So I think you're
Okay.
thinking of somebody else.
I'm thinking of somebody else. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have a guaranteed issue product. We have the final expense, that simplified issue, term, IUL, lifetime whole life. We have those products, no guaranteed issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question.
So I have a couple of questions, Jeremiah.
Yeah, go ahead, Brittany.
So after let me start with this one. So for us, we always have to save a copy of the application. Is there a way to do that directly after the application submitted? Because I ended up having to call them and then they emailed it to me, which wasn't a big deal, but I just wasn't sure for user error on the first time if there was a place to actually download and save the app.
No, great question, because I've gotten that from a lot of you guys. So I know you have to submit those as symmetry, it sounds like. So you will not be able to get a copy until on your own until they take that first premium.
Okay.
Then once they take that first premium, then the policy generates for you guys, and you can go out to that. Let me go back to, hang on, I'm going to go back to on the PowerPoint here.
So what you guys can do in the interim until that happens is just take a screenshot of the approval and then just save that as a PDF and upload that into Opt. Just like we used to do with SBLI for a long time. Same idea.
Perfect. But I will show you, hang on, I'm getting to the slide that I need to get to. And there it is. So right here,
You'll have to reshare.
okay, hang on a second. I'll reshare it. So when you go to the secure.transamerica.com portal, if you go down here to this Transamerica Life Access, that's where you'll be able to get in and view the policy once the premium has been taken. But I would follow. Go ahead.
Because that was my follow-up question. And so that the application won't populate in that section until draft has been taken. Because afterwards, I found all my other policies that have been issued or, everything like that. But I could not find this one even in pending or anywhere I could to even get like a policy number. I couldn't find any proof that we did the application in any of the back offices. Is that accurate?
Right. Yep, you won't until it takes the first premium. So I would do like Michael said and take that screenshot and submit it like you were doing with SBLI for a while there. And I think that's something I'm going to bring to our management team too, and let them know like a lot of you guys need those policies immediately and why we can't get that immediately. So I'm going to bring that to the table just because I've gotten a lot of feedback on that from you guys and other folks. So I'll do that as well. But do you have any other questions, Brenda? I know you had a couple you said.
No, the other only one that I kind of had was just kind of what would be the best difference between looking at this product versus the immediate solution one.
Yeah, so I would just tell you just the ease of the business. The rates, the underwriting are pretty similar. Actually, this one's a little bit better. Just the fact that we do instant decision and text to sign are probably the top two, I would say, why I would do this over the immediate solution, to be honest. The products are really similar underwriting rate wise. It's just this one is fit for what you guys really want. I mean, that quick stuff. So that's really the only reason, honestly.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yeah, any other questions? All right, Michael. Any questions from you?
Real quick, just for clarification, if someone has a non-resident license and they want to get appointed, can their appointment fee be deducted from their first commission, or does that have to happen beforehand? Because I know we have quite a few non-resident licensed people.
Yep. So no, what happens with that? So you do need to submit your licenses prior. We'll process it, but obviously that takes time to process it, but we expedite just so it adds to the portal. So what that looks like is what it will do is you're sending that non-resident license. We'll verify we have it, and we'll put it in to be processed. But to verify we have it takes about 24 hours. And then you should get an email 24 hours later that says we verified you have, you're eligible to write in the state. We'll continue to process. Once you have that email, by 11 a.m. the next day, it should be in the portal. And what will happen is that non-resident fee will not be due until you write a piece of business, and that non-resident fee will be taken from your commissions. You can choose to pay it if you want, but it will be taken from your commissions if you prefer that way.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that works.
The fees vary by state, Linda. It's state dependent.
I mean, like $100, or we're just talking about like a minimal?
$4 to $22. I think
Oh, yeah.
Ohio was like $4, and I think North Carolina was 22, 25, something like that, and kind of spread everything in between.
Exactly. Yep. Well, awesome, Michael. I thank you for having me on today. I appreciate being in front of you guys and all that. And definitely wish you guys a blessed week and a blessed day. If you have any questions, reach out to Michael. I'm going to send this stuff to him. Reach out to me and my team. Love to see you guys doing more Transamerica business, especially with this product. And love to see you on that trip too. It's going to be awesome out there. So I can't wait to be out there, and hopefully some of you are there with me. But I'll let you, Michael, close it out. But I just want to thank you guys again for having me on.
Hey, we appreciate you, Jeremiah. Thank you for taking the time. We really do appreciate that. Thank you.
Anytime. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. That's pretty much what today's meeting was about, right? Was getting that information on that. As soon as he sends me those, I'll get them sent off. I'll get them uploaded into WhatsApp as well, and then get this video uploaded into YouTube right away. That way it's available for replay. I'm going to stop the
Awesome.
recording, and we can continue chatting.